This is Public Access Part 1. Let's do CATS. CATS is an acronym that stands for Concept, Aim, Tone, and Subject Matter. The purpose of CATS is to establish some basic expectations for what this game is about and what we're going to be doing during this first session. So, concept. Public Access is a tabletop role-playing game about a group of people in 2004, the Deep Lake Latchkeys, who find themselves investigating strange mysteries in and around the town of Deep Lake, New Mexico. In the 80s and early 90s, Deep Lake was the home of a notorious public access television station called TV Odyssey, the history and fate of which, the station literally disappeared, is the source of much speculation in certain corners of the internet. As the Latchkeys conduct their investigations in Deep Lake, they will become increasingly aware of the central role TV Odyssey plays in everything that's going on, and will have to face whatever terrible truth lies at the heart of the infamous station. Public Access takes inspiration from early internet horror stories, creepypasta tales, and urban legends. It's also inspired by the analog and found footage horror subgenres, synthwave and vaporwave music, and American pop culture from the 80s and 90s. The game's mechanics are based on Apocalypse World, Brindlewood Bay, and The Between, and we've played those games before, so we're good to go. The aim of the characters in the story is to investigate local mysteries in order to get closer to the truth of what happened to TV Odyssey. Our aim as players is to learn more about these characters' pasts, as well as to paint a vivid picture of our version of Deep Lake, New Mexico, a responsibility we all share. The aims for today's session are to create and introduce the characters, learn the basics of how the game works by playing it, and then have a debrief period at the end. Tone. The tone of Public Access is nostalgic, weird, and terrifying. Everything should always feel just a little bit wrong, a little bit off. Levity and humor is totally acceptable, especially in the early parts of the game, but as the overall story progresses, things will get much weirder and much scarier. Some subject matter: cosmic horror, graphic violence, ritual sacrifice, sexism, sexual desire, childhood trauma, consumer culture, and other dark and sensitive topics can come up in this game. We will be using safety tools, which we'll talk about here shortly, but in the interest of setting expectations right now, you should know that this game occasionally deals with dark and intense subject matter. So regarding safety tools, we as a game group have done a full couple of runs of The Between now and have a pretty good handle on this, but I'll still read from the session 1 guide. No game is more important than the people playing it. We're going to paint a dark, unsettling portrait of Deep Lake, New Mexico, but we're going to do it in a way that respects everyone's boundaries of safety and consent. In order to do that, we're going to be using 3 safety tools: the open door policy, the X card, and lines and veils. The open door policy is very simple. You can leave the game for any reason, and you don't have to explain yourself. Just let us know you have to go, and no one here will ask any questions about it. The X card is here in case something in the game makes you feel uncomfortable in an unfun way. Just say or type X card in our Zoom chat, and we will stop play in order to change whatever just happened in game. As the keeper, I may ask for clarification on what is being X carded, but I will never ask why. We will resume play once the change is made. Finally, we will be using lines and veils. Lines are things that we are not going to have in the game, period. Veils are things that we're okay with being in the game, but we prefer not to role play them, or we simply want to keep them off screen. Importantly, even though I listed a number of dark subject matters that come up in Public Access, you can still include one or more of those things as part of lines and veils. As I said before, no game is more important than the people playing it. I will start by sharing my personal lines and veils right now. We have a sheet on our character keeper to track these, so we will review these for people to enter in as they see fit. We also do roaming lines and veils, so if anything ever just comes up, we'll be adjusting this list. It's a living document, but pretty simple. My personal lines and veils is I line, sexual violence, sexual non-consent, and I veil usually anything like excessive, like sexual content wise. So fade to black. Aside from that, though, totally flexible. But yeah, we'll see what our outstanding list is here before we begin play. So, before we dive back into character creation, some of us have already fleshed out a good deal of them, but before we step away to finish, let's share a few more details about the setting. The game takes place in and around the fictional town of Deep Lake, New Mexico. Deep Lake and surrounding Degolla County are in a remote part of the state. The town has fewer than 5,000 residents, but the eponymous lake attracts vacationers and seasonal hands in the summer, doubling the number of people around. The player characters are a group of people in their early 20s who met on an internet forum and bonded over their shared history. They each spent a part of their childhood in the 1980s and early 1990s in Deep Lake. They were each latchkey kids, and they were and are fascinated by TV Odyssey. They did not know each other when they lived in Deep Lake, but they have found each other now, and under their new nickname, the Deep Lake Latchkeys, they intend to find out the truth of TV Odyssey. The Latchkeys are united by something else, though they aren't yet aware of it. They each suffered a terrible trauma in their childhood. Sharing and exploring those traumas is something they will do together as they get more involved in the mysteries surrounding the town. You should avoid talking about these aspects of your latchkey, both in and out of character, until prompted to do so by the game's rules. Just before the game starts, the Latchkeys decided to meet in person. They have rented a house on Rodenbecker Street in Deep Lake and are going to spend the summer there, getting to the bottom of what happened to TV Odyssey. And so I'm going to break here. And when we come back, we will introduce these characters. Now that we have made our latchkeys, we are going to introduce them as children through flashbacks to their youths. You each mark one of your keys of the child and tell us the scene. Whoever wants to go first, please just let us know what key you've marked, and then the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'll go first. I am marking the key of the child, a flashback to the moment when you realized your parents were imperfect. The streetlights came on, and I, like the rest of the teens, went home after a summer day full of running around and causing chaos. I'm in the kitchen, waiting for mom or dad to get home. No food in the fridge, not even $5 to get a sandwich from the Degolla food liner. Probably out of the bar again. I wish it wasn't right down the street from us. I move to my room and duck under my door frame. Sometimes I wonder how I keep getting taller when there's nothing to eat in this shitty trailer. Oh well, at least no one to yell at me to turn my music down.
I'll go next. Um, I am doing the first key of the child, a flashback showing your latchkey kid routine whenever you got home from school. We see Everett Fontenot arrive at home. It's a large home. It's clear his family comes from a bit of money. He's got his blonde hair. He wears these preppy clothes, a popped collar, a cardigan, which looks a little bit ridiculous on an 8, 9 year old child. Um, but he steps in. The house is empty. It's usually empty when he gets home. It's not unusual, but he empties his pockets. He's got his Walkman. He's got a few notes that are folded up. One's folded up into the shape of a little heart. Um, Kind of deposits them on the child on the table, and then gets himself a little snack. Today it's an apple that he slices for himself. It's a little apple cutter. Pushes it down. Gets himself a little scoop of peanut butter and goes to watch the after school programs.
Thank you. Who's next?
I can go. I've always been a little odd. Known things were going to happen before they did. Wasn't particularly shy about sharing. Some were harmless. How I always seemed to have a knack for knowing what was for lunch before it was announced, or that we were going to have a pop quiz. Some were less endearing, like the time I raised my hand to tell my teacher I'd need to be excused because my grandma died, about 20 minutes before my mom called the school to tell them. Or how I knew Lucy Davenport was going to break her arm at recess before it happened. That one got me sent to the principal's office, but I wasn't anywhere near her when she fell, luckily. And to top it all off, there was the name. Dahlia? I remember the first day of kindergarten when we introduced ourselves. Dahlia, like the flower, my teacher had said. No, like the murder, I had replied. Weird thing for a kid to say, even if it was the truth. That one landed my mom in the principal's office, too. Something about inappropriate information for a child to know. I didn't see what the big deal was, but no one was especially fond of me after that.
Thank you. And lastly,
All right, Sebastian Melmoth. I'm doing my latchkey kid routine. This took place in the years of 1990 to 92, ages 8 to 10. Growing up in Deep Lake wasn't atypical, at least not at first. Best days were the early days, coming home from school. My twin brother Oscar and I would come home every day and rush for the basement. It had wood panel walls and orange shag carpeting, a leftover, a leftover from the 70s that Mom always hated. Dad thought it was nostalgic, and their debates always put off refinishing the basement. There was always another thing to fix: plumbing, wiring, whatever. We'd toss our backpacks aside and thunder down the stairs and put on a movie. I remember the big box-shaped TV up on the shelf, flanked by rows and rows of tapes. Mom always insisted on taping stuff on TV rather than buying it, so we got plenty of commercials to go with movies from Disney or Don Bluth. Sometimes I'd try putting something else on, something more grown up like Vertigo. Oscar hated those. He said they were too boring or the people talked too much. He always wanted to watch Star Wars and stuff like that. Naturally, I'd end up coaching him through his homework, hoping no one would notice our similar answers. And then, if the sun was still up, we'd take our bikes and we'd be off to make our mark on Deep Lake. But what happened out there was for us and no one else. And that was what made it special.
very good. Thank you, everyone. Now, the year is 2004. We are going to have a bit of role play here. We're going to have a scene that shows each of the latchkeys arriving. But before we set that, I have a little more, setting filler to present here. You all met on a small online forum called the Deep Lake Odyssey. The people who gather on this forum are interested in the mystery of a public access TV station in Deep Lake, New Mexico called TV Odyssey, which broadcasted on cable channel 94. TV Odyssey operated from the late 1970s to the early 1990s, offering studio space to and airing a variety of local productions. The station literally, physically disappeared in 1992. At the time, local officials said a fire burned the station down, but there was no evidence to support that. The station simply vanished. Perhaps even more strange, the people of Deep Lake and surrounding Degoya County can't remember TV Odyssey, or if they do, they aren't talking about it. The only evidence TV Odyssey ever existed in the first place is the vague recollections of people on the forum and the so-called Odyssey tapes. The Odyssey tapes are VHS recordings that supposedly contain episodes of the various shows that aired on Channel 94. The Odyssey tapes are recognizable by their distinctive purple clamshells, the paper inserts of which depict day-glow pyramids and torii gates. The Odyssey tapes also have physical properties that are unexplainable by science. The content of the tapes can only be viewed at night and cannot be transferred to any other medium. attempting to watch one during the day or from an internet upload have all failed. The image just shows a blank blue screen. You got to know each other on the forum over the course of a few months and decided to spend the summer in Deep Lake looking into the mystery of TV Odyssey and hoping to snag an Odyssey tape or two. You each lived in Deep Lake when you were kids, back in the late 80s and early 90s, though you didn't know each other at the time. You have vague recollections of TV Odyssey, and you hope that pooling your knowledge and resources together might help you get to the bottom of what happened. Worst case scenario, you spend a few months in a small tourist town with new friends. And you have rented 26 Rodenbecker, a house in Deep Lake. We are going to have you showcase each latchkey arriving one after the other. And however you arrive, as part of this, feel free to kind of show us what your introduce your latchkey by their name, their pronouns, what their sort of style, their look is, anything else you want to share about the things that takes them back. And as part of this, if you can allude to some key backstory elements, primarily like what you do for a living, if anything, what you would want to be doing with your life, if anything, and if you have any like significant others in your life or anything of that nature, just these elements, let them come to the fore. You'll all be meeting out front of the house in this scene before entering. Who would like to begin? Who would like to arrive first?
I think that Max would roll up first, probably. Tends to be a little early. He's got nothing else to really do. Max Carter, he, him. I believe he rolls up in this beat up old black with a white stripe going down the middle Camaro. It once probably was a beauty of a machine, but just time and the fact that he bought it on sale and it gets him from A to B. The only thing that is fixed in it is the speakers and the loud subwoofer in the back as heavy metal music blares as he pulls up to this house. He leaves the car running as he steps out, getting a look at the house. Black boots, jeans, a well-fitted rock t-shirt with the sleeves cut off, long black hair. He just kind of looks over, starts breaks out a cigarette and begins to light it as he waits for his forum friends to arrive.
Who shows up next?
Sebastian Melmoth pulls up in a navy blue Subaru. Not really an outstanding car, just four wheels and a motor. It's all he really needs. And he is already showing a bit of vulnerability to the heat of the southern U.S. After graduating high school, he went off to Des Moines, Iowa to study communications. And for the past couple of years, he's been working as an IT guy for a school district. So this is his first time coming back to his old hometown in quite a few years. He's approaching 6 feet tall, rather skinny, dark hair, and he always looks like he's sleep deprived. Uh, Immediately, he gets out of his car, slams the door, grabs a duffel bag or two out of the trunk, says, "Hey, oh, don't tell me. What was your username on the forum? No, I'm drawing a blank.
Metalhead 69.
Awesome. I was C33, but these days in the real world, people call me Sebastian.
All right, Sebastian, Max, good to meet you. Hold out a
Same.
hand.
Has anyone else shown up?
Nope, just us so far. Well, turn off my music. And you see that Max also stands quite tall. He's at about 6'5". as he like leans into his car, pulls out a duffel bag, slings it over his shoulders, like, got a key. I mean, we can go ahead and decide pick out our rooms first. I'd
Might as well.
feel bad if I got first blood.
Who's pulling up next?
I will, but I don't pull up. It's a cab. And she kind of gets out of the back. She's wearing like a long black velvet dress with a with a lace second dress over it that has massive bell sleeves, but it's like purple. She has her hair up in a ponytail and like black cat eye sunglasses on with one of those 90s swirly black chokers and too many beaded bracelets and thick ass platform shoes. And she gets out of the car before unloading her two black, like vintage looking suitcases. She goes, "Oh, you guys are here already?"
Just arrived, really.
Yeah, someone had to get here first.
"Oh, well, if you're going inside, wait for me. 1 second." She like puts her cigarette in her mouth, drops her bags on the ground, and like fumbles with a beaded bag, takes out like a handful of crumpled bills and hands it to the cab driver. "Thanks." Before she picks up her bags and walks back up to you guys. Are we picking out rooms then?
Yeah. You were what was her name again?
Blackest Dahlia.
Blackest Dahlia. Metalhead
Like the
69.
murder?
Exactly. Elizabeth Short. It's who I'm named after, actually. My mom was a real weirdo.
I'm Max.
I'm Sebastian.
Pleasure to meet both of you.
Yeah, and then I guess Everett's the last to arrive. He comes up shortly behind the cab. There's a moment as you guys are introducing each other, yourselves to each other. Everett Fontenot, him, is noticeably driving a very nice car. It looks new. It's like a Mustang, a sports car. And as he steps out, he's got big, like blue sunglasses that he whips off. He's also on a little flip phone, a Motorola, a BlackBerry, actually, we'll say. He's kind of got it between his shoulder and his ear, and he says, "What do you? The deals can go on without me. I've told you, I'm taking a break for the summer." He flips it closed, whips the sunglasses up to his forehead, and he goes, "Ah, well, do my eyes deceive?"
Probably not.
Depends on what you think you're seeing, I guess. Nice car. Am I the only one without one?
Looks like it.
Don't really need one in the city.
I think I see my friends from the internet, of course. His big smile, a bright, sunny face. He's blonde hair, artfully mussed. So deliberately, he's wearing sort of a white button up. The collar's popped. He's got like a cardigan on over it. Form nicely fitting black pants, nice shoes. And as he goes to pull a suitcase out of his trunk, it's designer.
Damn. Are you the one that's fronting all the money for this then?
Oh, yes. The father decided to loan me a little bit of money. It's not a problem for me to. I've got the house. Don't worry. Let me guess.
Pretty groovy of your dad.
His pockets are generous, and I love to take advantage of it.
Can't
I'm gonna
stand
guess Metalhead 69. He points at Max.
Just give
Black
Devil
Stallia.
Horns.
She kind of
And-
curtsies.
C33.
At your service.
Golden Boy 29 reporting.
All right, well, let's check out this place then. I'm just
Across the street, you can hear like the clack of sandals on the asphalt, as the house directly across from 26. There is a woman stepping out onto her front lawn, crossing out into the street. She has perfectly curled hair. just very like well done, dressed in like jean capris and her chunky sandals. She's going, "Oh, hi, hello, yes." And she's like crossing over to you guys. As she gets closer, you are hit with this wall of Victoria's secret love spell perfume just wafting off of her in droves. Your eyes water. She says, "Hi, are you the renters?"
Oh, yes, that would be us. We're staying for the summer. Everett goes over to shake her hand.
Hi. Oh, Jane Baxter. She shakes your hand. I just live across the way. I'm a real estate agent here in town. I did not arrange this, but the homeowner did ask if I could drop off the keys when you all arrived. So here you are. She like fetches out, set of keys for each of you, handing them out. I live just across the way there with my son. But welcome to the neighborhood. Are you Oh, this is an interesting little group here. Are we college friends? Are we here what brings you to Deep Lake?
Yeah,
Oh, we met
college
online
friends.
and we're arranging a swinger party here.
She blinks and she says, "Well, you meet all sorts when you work in realty." And she laughs in that kind of way where it's like she laughs in the like, "Aha, of course you're joking," but like she is not even sure if it's a joke or not, but she's laughing socially like it were. Well, like I said, I'm just across the way. Um, um, Welcome to the neighborhood. And Jane turns and walks back into her house. Let's move inside. Most houses on Rodenbecker Street are single story brick in the ranch style that is very typical for a lot of New Mexico. 26 stands out for a few reasons. The first of which is that it is a two-story building and it is a wood structure, like a wood house in like the Queen Anne, kind of somewhat like turn of the century Victorian style. Uh, Clearly like an old, and it's also on a corner lot, so it really sticks out like a sore thumb. It is a dusty, hot day in June here, especially for as I believe some of you are wearing clothes that are not the most fitted towards the climate. But you all head inside now that you have your keys. Let's paint the scene, everyone. Looking around, how is it obvious that the homeowner made no particular effort to make the space ready for you?
I'll swipe a finger over the back of the couch, and oh, there's a bit of dust there.
Is that a rolled up? They didn't even finish the carpet. And I can see that there's just a bunch of like wood flooring and then there's rolled up carpet in the corner.
Some of the furniture still has dust covers on it, draped haphazardly.
Is the kitchen counter covered in newspapers? It was like old. How long have they been here?
Ooh, what year?
Picks one up. 98.
Good
Pull
year.
from 99. Good year.
All that time and no one's rented the place? Must have a reputation.
Maybe it's haunted.
Do you think there's an upstairs? I I I think I'm gonna try and find a basement, maybe see if there's one in this place.
Indeed, you will also now be learning that most houses in New Mexico don't have basements. This is a true fact.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to get to describe uh, why you each choose the bedrooms you did at 26 Rodenbecker. But before we do that, I want to have a little bit more role play here to make sure we everyone's gotten the chance to hit on those aspects of what you do, if anything, what you would rather be doing with your life, and if you have any significant others. We have had a few pings so far, but I do want to definitely get a little get to know you conversation between the latchkeys a bit more. So you're in the house. Role play.
Oh God, please tell me this place has internet access.
Uh, my guess would be no, man. Uh,
Ugh.
you could probably
Be
set
a
up a
tough call.
hot. I mean, yeah.
Might have dial up. It's better than nothing, I
Sure,
suppose.
there's a landline somewhere.
Do you have places to be? Emails to check, I suppose. People to call.
Yeah, it's a part of my work. I do IT at a school district.
That sounds like it pays pretty well. Way better than a clerk at a record store.
Well enough to keep the lights on. Speaking of, do the lights still work in here? I'm gonna check the light switch.
They turn on.
Yeah,
Okay,
lights
well, at least
promising.
they haven't fallen behind on something.
I don't mind it. Kind of a vintage vibe. I still ride on this old thing. One of her suitcases, you notice, is actually a typewriter, one of those foldable typewriter suitcases. I write for a zine. I do the horoscopes.
How exciting.
Well, if you start
I'm
writing a novel, please don't hack us up outside, okay?
Trust me, if I was going to kill you, that wouldn't be the method.
What would be the method, dare I ask?
Hmm, something more subtle. It's a lot of mess. And it takes a lot of effort hacking up body parts. Look at these arms.
What do you
Maybe
do for a
poison
living
in your
there,
tea.
Everett?
Cliche, but a classic.
just a sort of I went to college for business and I work at my father's company, but
Hmm.
it's a cozy position. A nepo
Nepotism
baby.
rocks.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I love to take advantage of my father's generosity.
If you have an opportunity, seize it.
Exactly. And it's gotten us this place. I probably could have afforded it. I have a fair bit of savings. Single in the New York City doesn't you don't incur too many bills. But
I'm just
Sure.
glad that my car was able to make it here from Tennessee. It's a bit of a drive, but she's got some legs on her.
I think she has wheels.
Hey, what you got in that Walkman there?
Oh, a bit of this, bit of that. Some Rolling Stones, some Smiths.
Oh, Smiths. Fuck yeah.
Very cool. I love the longing in his voice.
It's very distinct.
Who doesn't love a little sad boy?
I had to fly from California. Like I said, in the city, I mostly take the trolley.
Well, shouldn't be too much of an adjustment for the weather then. It's pretty warm in California.
Yeah,
Oh,
not bad at all. It's a little drier here, too, which I don't mind.
Yeah, I still gotta get used to it. I grew up around here, but it's been a while since I've been back.
I am regretting the cardigan, I am telling you.
I regret the velvet. I feel you.
Dressed appropriately.
This
It's
feels pretty
clearly.
good. This feels pretty good. The resounding vibe I've gotten from everyone here is everyone's single.
Yeah.
And I love that. Very good. So now I'm gonna go around, and when I call on you, I would like you to say why your character chose the bedroom they did at 26 Rodenbecker. Then the rest of us are going to pitch an item we think you brought with you to Deep Lake for the summer. That this will populate our inventory, the section of your character sheet called your corner of the house. So let's start with our first arrival. So Max Carter. Uh, why did you choose the room you did?
I think I chose it because it's on the base floor. Um, Max doesn't like usually having to go upstairs due to how tall he is. He always has to kind of duck under things, and so chose a base floor. The one that gets the most sun, this most sun at sunset.
Very cool. So, everyone, what items might be found in Max's corner of the house?
Fear I must take the easy one. You have a record player.
I think I'm going to build on that. In addition to your record player, you got to have records to play, one of which has a bit of history to it. It's called Best of the Beatles. It is not by the Beatles. It is by Pete Best, who was the original drummer of the Beatles. He put it out under that name and sold a lot of copies, and people were pissed that it wasn't a Beatles album.
Because you said that line that she's got legs on her and that like you personified your car. I'm actually going to formalize that your car is an item for your personal quarters here. That make and model. It sounded like even if you have a name for it, that'd be great. But yeah, I think that sense it feels very like it's locked in for your character that car be a significant item for you.
Her name's Calypso after my IRL
Yes.
car.
Yes, that's great.
Calypso the Camaro.
You have goth band posters, specifically a lot of typo negative ones.
Very fun. Max, are you happy with those items?
I love them.
Very good. Uh, Malachi, why did Sebastian choose the room he did?
Okay, I'm hoping that there's a finished room in the basement because I think
There
he
is no
would.
basement.
What? Not in
There
this
is
one?
nope.
Oh,
There is no. Most houses in New Mexico don't have basements. Not even this one. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
In that
Well, actually,
case,
well, I'll actually say, you know what? Actually, no, I'm not gonna impose that. Maybe this house is odd because it does have a basement. So if you want the basement room, that's the idea you have. Yeah, that's an unusual thing for New Mexico homes. This one does have a basement.
okay. Thank you. And so he's gonna go pick a room in the basement because, for one thing, it'll be cooler down there, and he misses the cooler northern weather. And two, because of his latchkey kid routine when he and his brother would come home and go down to their basement in their childhood home to watch movies.
Mm, very good. So in the basement room that Sebastian has claimed, what might be found in his personal quarters?
I think Sebastian has a small little toolbox of like electrical tape and like things that he can do small fixing things on computers and whatnot. Like an electrician's kit.
Because you made that line about like hoping there's internet in this place, I actually like the idea that you came prepared for that contingency. You have a dial-up modem. I
Stand
assume
something about those lines.
dial-up was a thing in 2004 still, right?
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
looking at it earlier. 2004 is actually the year that broadband internet surpassed dial-up.
Cool. So we're earlier in the year, so I think having a dial-up is fun, unless you have a different idea, Sebastian.
Dial-up's fine.
Cool.
Um, you're an AV club. You're kind of techy. I think you have an old camcorder.
I like the detail that it's an old camcorder. It's like, a little beat up or
Beat
something,
up.
or an older model. I don't know. Yeah, whatever you think.
Older model, but I don't know. I feel like Sebastian maybe feels like he takes care of it. So
He brought a Super 8 to Deep Lake.
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, mine was kind of also based off your AV club thing. I was gonna give you an old ham radio.
Cool.
You got all kinds of tech in the basement.
hmm All right. Add those to your corner of the house. You happy with those?
Yeah, that works.
Right on. Uh, so Dahlia, why did you choose the room that you did?
Is there an attic room with slanted ceilings?
Oh, I mean, the floor definitely has like slanted ceilings, so it's not even like an attic. It's just there is like a room, I imagine, in that second floor that has like a slanted ceiling.
I choose one of those. I choose it because in the slanted ceiling, there's a window I can kind of like open up and then kind of like crawl out onto the roof and sit there.
Fuck yeah. All right, what might Dahlia have brought with her to Deep Lake, knowing what we know about her now?
I think she has a bookshelf, not a bookshelf, but she brought like a little box full of her favorite books.
You have a hmm. Yeah. You have the first three seasons of Muffy the Zombie Killer, uh, as like the first three seasons like a collect
Box
like
set.
slipcase box set,
Collector's.
signed by the star herself, Geraldine Ambrose,
Love that.
Muffy the zombie
because
killer.
that was on your takes you back thing, and yeah, maybe that.
Box set signed by what was her name?
Geraldine Ambrose.
Geraldine. How do you spell Geraldine?
Hey, I'll type it in the chat.
Follow your heart.
There you go.
Oh, that is
Yep.
not where my heart was leading me.
I think another thing that you would have would be some stained glass window hangings that you can put in the windows, shaped like stars and moons, and one shaped like a black dahlia.
Sun catchers.
Yes.
I'm gonna say a Greek mythology themed tarot deck.
Yes, I was hoping someone would give me a tarot deck.
Hell yeah. You happy with those? All right. Lastly, why did Everett choose the room he did?
I think it's the last bedroom on the second floor, and I think he picked it as the best cell service. He still has to make calls, um, and I think it has a nice view of like the area.
Okay, so what might be in your corner of the house? Let's see.
I think I got one.
Yeah.
You brought your own silken bedspread, so fitted sheet, uh, duvet cover. You have the simplest taste that only be satisfied by the best.
I think
I'm
you
not
also
gonna live
chose.
like a heathen.
I think you also chose this room because it has the biggest closet, and you have an extended uh set of attire that you have brought with you.
It has an extensive wardrobe that's just coming out of like the trunk, laying the bags all in there. Yeah.
He only brought the
You
first suitcase out. He's got five.
We have a vintage Rolex. You're a pretty boy. That feels right.
It does.
With an inscription. You decide what that is.
See, we have a good number of these things that are very much focusing on all like the wealth and luxury. I'm gonna go a little different direction here. I don't know. I'm a little stuck on this. I'm trying to like angle something based on what we learned in your key with like watching like after school programs. But like no after school program stuff is coming to my mind at the moment here. Kind of want to like have it like rooted in something like that calls back to that since we have so many that are already themed around you being from, wealth. Um, oh, you know what? No, I got it. Um, you have an old note you've saved all these years from a childhood crush you had back when you lived in Deep Lake. Like you've held on to. It's like Beverly Marsh in It with the postcard and the poem. It's like you have this like, note. Maybe it was like from like an anonymous person that was like crushing on you, but like it never happened because you moved away or whatever, like to like ships in the night. I don't know. I feel like that's the vibe.
I love it.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
you like me?
immortally.
Check the box.
Yeah. I feel like it's got to be something like very meaningful to you. So yeah, I'll let you intuit that. Um, how does that sound? You happy with those?
Yep. Great.
Very good. And welcome to Deep Lake, everyone. We are now going to fast forward into normal play. A few weeks pass after your arrival. You have not made much progress on TV Odyssey. No one wants to talk, and you certainly haven't found any Odyssey tapes. But all that changed this morning. Someone left an Odyssey tape on your doorstep. It's called Happy Jack #06 duress signal question mark pure white pretext question mark written in like, handwritten on like the on the label. You'll watch it soon, maybe even tonight. But there's something else. Another mystery in the town of Deep Lake has found you. And it is here that I will introduce our first mystery as we go into the day phase. The house on Escondido Street. A young man, Casey Wilcox, shows up at the house on Rodenbecker Street. He's heard about your investigation of TV Odyssey. He doesn't know much about it, but he thinks you might be interested in another Deep Lake mystery, the house on Escondido Street. He explains that Escondido Street has been abandoned since 1994 when the family that lived there, the Mendozas, disappeared without a trace. Casey was 10 years old then, and it friends with Elliot, the youngest of the two Mendoza children. The other Mendozas are Dad Hugh, Mom Sherry, and Elliot's sister Abigail. He doesn't remember there being anything strange going on with the family at that time, which made their sudden disappearance all the more bewildering. 18 Escondido has become a local legend in the 10 years since, a classic haunted house right in the middle of Deep Lake. People avoid it. They say it has bad energy. Apart from some minor acts of vandalism over the years, the house is largely as the Mendozas left it. A question for Tamara, or rather for Dahlia. Casey's story includes a detail that makes you think 18 Escondido Street is evil. What is it?
Hmm. After the family disappeared, they found like long gouging marks in the walls of the house, like claws.
That is very unsettling. Your question for the house on Escondido Street is what happened to the Mendozas? It's complexity 6. Once you've answered the question, you can resolve the mystery by revealing the truth to Casey Wilcox. That's it. Anything further with the house is your call. You can destroy it if you wish, or some otherwise banish the evil that resides there. That's secondary. All you need to do is just figure out what happened to them and let Casey know. Give the man some closure. And now we go into the day phase. Before we investigate the mystery, let's take a short break. It's the day phase, and we are in regular play now. So, we're gonna do our first scenes and actions here in the day phase, whatever you guys want to get up to, and then we're gonna get to go into our first night. I will let you know that it's by the time this mystery is introduced in the fiction, it's like later afternoon, so we're gonna have like a shorter day phase both because of the time, but also in the fiction. So it's like later in the day when when this when this was brought to your attention and all that. So I want to go around and I would love to hear what all of our latchkeys are interested in doing today with what daylight they have. Let's go in character keeper order here. Adalia, what are you thinking about? Oh, hello. Can't hear you.
God damn it.
There we go.
Probably because I turned down my thing the other day. I said I want to go investigate the house.
Okay, going straight over to the house. I love that.
Don't have a
Okay.
car though. Wouldn't mind if someone wanted to come and drive.
Indeed. What about Everett?
Go with you to the house.
Hell
And
yeah.
loser, we're going shopping.
Okay. All right, going over to pay a visit to 18 Escondido in wherever it is in town. What about Max?
Um, we have this Odyssey tape. I know we've been here for a couple of weeks, but do we even have a TV and like
Yeah, I'd
VHS
say
setup? Okay.
by now, 26 Rodenbecker has what you need of it, and that does include a TV and VCR set.
Yeah, I guess then, I mean, if everyone's going to be heading over there, but I'm I'm wondering if there's something like, is there a way that I can like look up like maybe some old newspapers or like maybe some records at the library, see what was going on
I
at
might
the
segue into
house?
Sebastian here. What were you thinking, Malachi?
I'm definitely considering what it would be like to see the house, but uh, if all we have to go on is Casey Wilcox's memory, then yeah, I think uh, checking out what was reported about it at the time would be a good place to start. So we could go to the library. They're bound to have all the local publications on microfiche and
Yeah.
maybe even some of the further reaching publications if it made news elsewhere.
So then Max and Sebastian to the library.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm into that. You actually have a bit of a thing here because when it comes to libraries, so Deep Lake, small town, right? There is the Deep Lake Municipal Library, which is a very tiny little building. It's probably got all sorts of local stuff. And then, maybe like 30 minutes away, a bit of a drive out of Deep Lake, in is La Fresca. That's sort of like the seat of Degolla County. There's the Degolla County Public Library, which is a much larger thing there. But if you're keeping your like interests like local, the municipal library probably works just fine. You'll probably want to make use of that larger public library for like broader research topics, but for local matters, you think the municipal might be fine.
Yeah, I think municipal would be the first place to start. That's usually as far as local superstitions and rumors get.
Mhm.
If we go any further out, it'll just be factual reporting, but
Yeah.
more resources and open at later hours.
Yeah. Let's get a scene here. Quick scene. With Everett and Dahlia. You're in Everett's car driving over to Escondido Street. Why don't we just get like a role play on the drive over if you have anything in mind.
Got the windows down. He's wearing like a button-up blue shirt today with a couple buttons unpopped because it's hot in New Mexico. Smith's playing on the radio or playing on the CD player. He goes, "Well, think the house is actually haunted?"
Oh, I hope so. Do you mind if I smoke, by the way?
Go for it.
Thanks. I don't know if it's haunted, but I mean, did you hear about the gouges in the walls? There's definitely something going on there. Do you
I mean,
believe in the supernatural, Everett? Well, I suppose you must, sort of. We're all here.
it's a little bit. I don't think I haven't seen anything that disproves ghosts. I don't think I've seen anything that proves them either. But I don't know. Maybe it's all a hoax.
Hmm, perhaps. I tend to have an open mind about it. You predict enough things right, and after a while, it's like, well, if I can see the future, why not ghosts, you know?
Can you see the future?
Not really. But I do have a rather strong sense of what could happen occasionally. I get these feelings, you know? My grand my mom used to say I was touched.
An intuition, I suppose, if you will.
And you turn onto Escondido Street. You are greeted with your roll down windows with the smells of backyard barbecues, charring meats, hoppy beer suds, kids pickling in chlorine. And Escondido Street's much like many other streets here in Deep Lake. The houses are in, a ranch style, and 18 in particular is no different. It's clearly been like renovated several times from when it was initially built in the 60s. It sits on a half-acre lot with a small stand of ponderosa pines around it. There's a fenced-in backyard with a pool, and there are other houses flanking it around it uh, in the whole area. There are, kids on bikes, like just playing and laughing nearby, and you can hear like the sound and laughter of other people just enjoying their summer day. You can hear like the loud like whir of like one of those like seated lawnmowers, which I can never remember the name of. There's like a landscaper just tending to like the grounds nearby. There's just people out and about as you pull up in front of 18 Escondido. What do the two of you do?
Not exactly a sinister neighborhood, is it?
Yeah, it's cozy. Smells nice. Are we? Is this breaking and entering? Are we trespassing? I guess nobody owns it.
Nobody lives there. Technically, we're here on a job. I'm
A
sure it's fine.
fairly unofficial job, but should we try the front door?
Hmm, might as well. If it doesn't open, I'm sure there's a side door around here. These kind of
Go around.
neighborhoods always have the friends entrance.
As you go up the yard, passing, between the copse of ponderosa pines, stomping over the yellowing grass, sticky pine needles clinging to your shoes. Let's paint the scene, everyone. Something about the trees makes you think that evil in this place is in the land. What is it?
In the shadows of the trees, the temperature drops significantly.
Some of the pines have like whorls, like the little knots of wood, and you could, from certain angles, they most certainly look like skulls or demonic faces.
The trees themselves kind of extend up and reach in, and these pines don't normally have thorns on their branches.
I imagine that the tree's roots are kind of, they look like they are pulled up out of the earth. Obviously, not all the way, but it's almost as if they're trying to dig themselves, uproot themselves to get out of the soil.
Everett and Dahlia, what is your reaction to to these things?
I take back what I said about the neighborhood.
This house is it's certainly something. Maybe
I
maybe
told
not
you
so
it
much a
was evil.
hoax. Starting to believe you.
Do you continue
Shall
to
we go?
approach the house?
Yeah,
All right.
right up to the front door.
Right up to the
You
front
came here for a
door.
job.
The windows that look into the house, uh, curtains are shut behind them, and you try the front door.
Yes,
It's locked, of course.
as it is. Hmm.
Not
I have a feeling
unexpected.
the whole house may be locked up. If we're going to try a not so legal entrance, it would probably be best to do it around the back.
Agreed.
We
And you
walk
head around the
around
back.
until we see another door.
Yeah, you head around into the fenced off backyard. Meanwhile, across town, Max and Sebastian have arrived at the Deep Lake Municipal Library. It's like a single story, like Adobe type building, and there's some like native art mounted kind of like in the entryway. Looking around as you like step inside, it's a badly running air conditioner. It's just enough to kind of rattle and wheeze its way through keeping this place not a sweltering oven, but there are a few like desk fans still blowing here and there. There's no one in here, of course. It's summer vacation and no one's here, except of course at a little half circle front desk. There is a woman behind it, getting up there in years, passing out of middle age. Like well tanned skin, deep set wrinkles, hair done up in a bun, and like clunky turquoise, jewelry. You can just hear her fingernails click, 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 at a little like keyboard at the front desk. She doesn't even like look your way as you enter. But looking around the interior of the Deep Lake Municipal Library, how does this place show signs of like local appreciation, and how have they gone ignored and underappreciated?
I think there's a display case that has actual like local relics from the native tribes that used to come through these lands, but it is tucked away in a corner and there's not even a light overhead. So you have to almost break out your own light or wait for the sunlight to just be coming in through the window just right to see it.
I was thinking something similar but slightly different. Also, a trophy case, but it hasn't of local teams, but it hasn't been updated since like 92.
I was actually thinking something similar, like on the walls up by the ceiling are child's drawings of what they want to be when they grow up, made by local kindergartners or something, which also has not been updated since, let's say, 95, 98, something like that.
In that vein, there's a bulletin board where local events have been posted, but it's one of those situations where they don't take down the old ones and just gets stacked on top until it couldn't really be updated anymore. The papers are yellow. No one's posted an event in a while.
The scene is yours. What do you do?
Place has barely changed.
I I don't think I ever came here when I was a kid. Uh, I like books and whatnot, but more so comic books.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Well,
Didn't
I
have
guess
much of a collection of those back in the day.
no, I'd just steal them and stash them away at home. Anyways, should we ask her maybe where we can find these newspapers or some information, or do you want to just look around?
I think we need her. No, we need her to open the right door to look at old periodicals and stuff. Excuse me.
Click, 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 click,
Excuse
click, click,
me.
click.
Hello.
The woman looks up over the rim of her, little turtle-rimmed glasses. And she like blinks and she says, "Oh, good afternoon. How may I help you?"
We wanted to take a look at some old publications, local newspapers, newsletters, things like that. They'll probably be on microfiche by now. Stuff to do with the house on Escondido Street.
Hmm. She like nods very slowly, just continues to hold eye contact with you and just nodding her head very slowly. And the silence draws out like longer and longer. Her face doesn't change. She just sits there nodding at you.
1998 newspapers.
Mm.
You have proved yourself worthy. Will you join me?
She furrows her brow at that, and she cocks, and then she looks over at Max with like a look of like, huh? Then looks back at you and says, I'm sorry, you're looking for the microfiche? Yes, I can show you to the the room, and you'll want to look into Escondido, 18, you said, and 98. Hmm. She just gives like this sort of like knowing hum and just continues to like look at you for a moment. But then after, this long pause, she like stands up and just begins to like walk down
Are you?
like, a side hall.
She okay? She's kind of out of it. It
Too soon to
seems
say,
too many meds, maybe.
or not enough.
She opens a door to a room, and indeed there is a single bulky microfiche machine, and there's a shelf with a range of periodicals for as far back as this place has been keeping the archives of newspapers uh, for the both local papers as well as the La Fresca Tribune. Um, and she starts like bring the microfiche machine up to life, and then says, and means like walk you through how to use it, even though you know how to use it. And she has like just a very like blunt, straightforward way of explaining it. And then she says, "Now, was there anything else, or another topic your friend wanted to look up? Perhaps anything at all?"
Yeah. Um, the local TV stations. Do you have anything on like the broadcast networks that used to be here in town?
Broadcast networks, as I can tell you, certainly, young man, there's never been any sort of broadcast studio in Deep Lake. Degoya County is a very small place. Not a lot of love for television in all the homes would warrant necessity for such a thing.
Hmm. I got you. Then, um, can I get the newspapers in '92
And she just gestures at like
over there?
the
Thank you.
shelf.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
I
And
just
then she like goes to the door and goes like, close it, leaving you two in here. She like stops, leaving the door ajar, like peering in at you two, looking at you with that same unflappable expression, just nodding her head slowly. Clunk.
Bye.
I don't remember everyone in this town being so fucking weird. Talk
Neither
about
do
old.
I, but I wasn't really paying attention to the grown-ups that much back then.
I wonder if she's okay, but I guess it's
Hardly our
true.
concern.
But I guess it's true though. Nobody here seems to know anything about TV Odyssey. Try to even be vague about it. Let's see what we find about Escondido Street, though.
Right, right. Okay.
And as you begin to peruse, meanwhile, Everett and Dahlia, you make your way around the side into the fenced off backyard where there is a in-ground swimming pool that is filled with a very shallow layer of mucky green water. There's a faded and cracked sunbrella furniture that's been left out here, and some large overturned planters. Let's paint the scene, everyone. The Mendozas enjoyed one last day of fun in the sun before their disappearance. What do you see around here that shows that?
Floating in the water with all the algae and dead leaves and squirrel carcasses are a pair of pool noodles that have been used in so many sword fights that they broke in half and are just floating listlessly.
On the patio table, there's the remnants of a pitcher and glasses as though lemonade was being drunk out of them. Of course, they're all cracked now and filled with debris and rain, but still sitting out.
There's a charcoal grill that's still open. The coals inside are gray, not quite ash, as if they didn't get to finish burning. The molded residue of food still sticking to the grate, and a faded, tattered apron that says "World's Best Dad" on it.
Off to the side, there is, even though through the years, it's been a little battered, but you can see that it's a volleyball net that is set up, and the ball is deflated, but at the side.
There is a back door to the house. It's like a sliding glass door. Um, it's actually slightly ajar. It's open just a little bit. There is indeed a way into the house from around the back.
Oh, excellent. Shall we?
I remember the last time I climbed a fence. It's probably middle school. My friend snuck some of his dad's hash out, but I think it might have just been oregano. But you don't think that's concerning, the open door at all?
I think it might just be good luck.
There could be squatters.
I think someone in this neighborhood would notice if there was a squatter. Come on. She slides open the door.
Fully slides all the way open.
No one stopped us from climbing the fence, but in for a penny, in for a pound.
As you both step inside the house,
What is about to happen?
because you have your latchkey move. Oh my, sight beyond sight. The first time you enter a location, you can ask the keeper what is about to happen. They will answer truthfully, though not necessarily completely. Entering the house, what is about to happen? You are about to experience something disquieting. As soon as you step inside, there is a sudden quiet, as if the world outside its walls slipped away. And you stand inside the house. Dahlia, Everett, how do you feel?
Oh, this place is definitely haunted. Or something.
Ugh, I think I just got goosebumps.
I was about to say, I was like, she has chills.
I'd like each of you to take the condition chilled. Here's the general layout of the house. It's a single story ranch building, but uniquely, it does also have a basement itself. There is, of course, the kitchen and dining room, the TV room, and the bedrooms for each of the Mendozas, of course, the for the parents and each of their kids, Elliot and Abigail, as well as this basement. What would you two like to do?
I'll go down to the basement, investigate. Look
Dahlia, you're
around.
going to get murdered if you go in the basement.
Wouldn't that be poetic?
I'm gonna look around the TV room. Just I
Okay.
guess scream if you need help.
Will do.
Dahlia goes one way, Everett goes the other. Everett, you walk into the TV room where a maroon sectional sofa is placed against the wall, and against the other wall is an entertainment center that's just as big as the wall it occupies. Interestingly enough, Everett, when you and Dahlia entered the house, you checked the light switch, and of course, they didn't work. When you enter the TV room, you see that the VCR beneath the massive tube TV has a blinking clock. 12. Even though you thought there was no power in this house, the VCR is on.
I want to go to the VCR player and hit eject.
Interesting. It's the day move. What are you afraid of happening here?
I'm afraid that I will realize that I am not alone in this room.
Indeed. You will roll with composure. Disadvantage because of chilled.
Bad. I failed. I rolled a 4.
A 4. I'll come back to you. Dahlia, you open a door where there are stairs that then go down into the dark of the basement. The smell of sawdust and rat droppings invades your nose. It's it's dark down there. What do you do?
I can't see a thing. She takes off her sunglasses, first of all, and then pulls out a lighter and sort of lights it to try to see in the corners.
Ooh, yeah, okay. That's really dim, but sure, it works.
The
You
lights
descend
don't work.
into the basement with your lighter. You can just barely make out the various stacks of U-Haul boxes down here. A disassembled Christmas tree in one corner. Let's paint the scene, everyone. Something about the basement makes you think the kids were terrified to come down here. What is it?
The pipes underneath the house, you can see them snaking above your head, but out of every corner, they seem to kind of actually move and shift as you move into the basement.
Did you describe the floor in here at all?
I did not.
Uh, I think it's an unfinished concrete floor, and there are sneaker marks from child-sized shoes, as if when they came down, they ran as fast as they could to get in and out.
There's an old toy discarded just outside of where the light from the first floor door would reach, as though they were scared to go the extra couple inches to retrieve it.
Was it everyone?
No, I haven't gone
Oh,
yet, but I'm
cool.
kind of drawing a blank.
That's okay. No worries. Uh, Dahlia, what would you like to do?
Uh, why are there so many U-Haul boxes if they lived here for a while? Poke around in here. Why are we not unpacked?
This will be our first instance of the meddling move. When you search for a clue, conduct research, or otherwise gather information, describe how you're doing so, and roll with an appropriate ability. You sure are. This will be with your reason as you're going through various boxes and whatnot, and with a lot of, very little light to go by. Um, I don't think you being chilled would affect you in this way. It's unsettling for sure, but not going to affect you in the roll. You can roll flat.
2 6s, right? Usual.
2d6, yep. Plus your reason.
Okay. 6 plus 1, 7.
7. Clue with a complication. I'll give you the clue first as you're rifling through boxes. Our first clue. Here we are, everyone. Let's see here. I'll consult my list. Mm. As you're rifling through, opening the flaps of these various U-Haul boxes, the majority of them are empty. It actually seems like perhaps that they emptied the boxes, but these are just non-broken down U-Haul boxes. There is some like junk in a few of them as kind of go through. And one thing though, there is a box sort of like tucked underneath a few others, and you almost miss it entirely with like the shadows of this place. Um, when you open it up, you find a photo album that is kind of like discarded at the bottom. It's entitled Summer Camp 93. Do you open it?
Yes.
You open it and immediately see nothing. It is every page is empty. So you begin to like rifle through it until you get to the last page, which is filled with pictures of dead animals off of like nature trails, disemboweled, just dead creatures lying in yellow grass. Some have bugs crawling on them in stages of decay, real grotesqueries. And I will simply ask you to make the day move as well, just seeing very disturbing pictures. These are very disturbing pictures. And that is your complication, in addition to being the clue. What are you afraid of happening if you lose your nerve down here?
Dropping my lighter and not being able to find my way out.
That is certainly a thing to be mindful of. You can roll with your composure, disadvantage because you're chilled.
Okay. Composure. I think it's also 1. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One more die. Dropped that one. Oh. Okay. Yeah. That's a 4 plus 1 is 5. So a fail.
Mm. You see these pictures and instinctively you recoil. They are grotesque. You drop the photo album, it like lands with a thunk, but you also let slip from your hand the lighter. As you fumble it, trying to catch it for a moment, it clatters to the ground, the flame is snuffed, and you are plunged into the darkness of the basement as you're fumbling around down here. And we'll come back to you. Back at the library, let's have Sebastian be the one to make the meddling move here. Sebastian, you are the one who has sort of like a whole background doing like research and all that. Max is certainly helping you, but for the sake of the scene, you will take on the onus of rolling. Um,
Never know what you're gonna get.
never know what you're gonna get. Exactly. Go ahead and roll the meddling move with reason as well.
And 3 plus 1 is 5.
Now, I will note, as per your move, you never know what you're going to get. If you want, once per session, you can find an extra clue even on a miss. Well, since you're looking through microfiche, which is one of the prerequisites there, do you wish to invoke that?
Yes, please.
All right, so you will find a clue even on a miss. You can hear the slide and clicking of the microfiche as you go one result to the next. Max, how are you helping?
I think I'm just picking the ones off of like the tall shelves and just kind of handing them to them, like, try this one. Maybe this one. Are we looking for like a specific month? Should we just go in
Uh,
order?
yeah,
I don't know what I'm
we're
getting.
basically going to start with I'd say the month that maybe the month leading up to the incident, and then everything after that, just in case there are hints of disturbances prior to what happened.
You got it, man. Just kind of grabbing the ones he's asking for, and then I think that I like also like kind of that the front desk lady. We never got her name, but she weirded me out. I'm gonna go over to the door and kind of like crack it open and like peek down and like give a quick little look.
And indeed, when you go to the door, this is where the result of Sebastian's miss comes into play. The door is locked. You jiggle the handle,
Hmm.
and Sebastian, there is an article in the newspaper about a series of break-ins that seem to have happened around this time. It's always the same. Like there are like, signs of like a forcible entry are found, but they were carefully hidden. And the reason why it flags you as relevant is that like one of the, in the article, it's like it's Hugh Mendoza, the father of the family, who reports like in this one article you find, it's like, oh, that he had found like signs of someone like forcing an entry that they were hidden, but nothing was taken, and kind of like even like quotes in the newspaper about like how like how how we're supposed to feel safe like this and all that, and the newspaper rambles on about seeming like similar security concerns, but really the focus there is that in that timeline that's very close to when the Mendoza disappeared is this mention of this forced entry that Hugh found. And as you're like, looking through it, parsing the article, it's when the power to the room is cut.
Hmm.
The hell?
And you two are plunged into darkness as well.
Are the hinges of the door inside the room? Did we like push open?
Yeah, they're inside. It was a push in.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to those and see if I can pull the pins out of them. And if not, then I'm gonna just pull the door open.
Indeed.
Has this happened to you before, Max?
Yeah, we'll say that. It's a good way of like making sure you don't get locked in a place.
I think because you're trapped in a dark room that's very hot, with no windows, you're fumbling around in the dark. I'm gonna have this be the night move. What are you afraid of happening if you fail or lose your nerve?
I think that Max is afraid he's going to start to panic, and he, instead of trying to go through this like how he wants to, he's just going to tear the door off of its hinges.
Yeah, I mean it's worse than that. You're gonna get the cops called on you. Like you're gonna have this whole freak out and you're gonna get arrested. Or at least,
Not
pulled
day
in
one.
by the cops. Yeah, exactly. Um,
Eh,
do you still try to
yeah, yeah.
do this? All right, cool. That's gonna be the night move with your vitality.
I got a +2, y'all. That is a 5 and a 2 +2.
That is a 9, I believe.
Yep, 9.
Yeah.
Incredible. Exactly. Yeah. So I think you are able to fumble and brute force and wrench the pins out of the door. But this is an old building and they're really in there. Even you're I think you're gonna take a condition which will just be like torn palms. You just you really fucking put your strength into it. But you notice after the fact that you're bleeding. As get the pins out and are able to push the door open.
You have to pick the door up off of its hinges and
Yeah.
set it to the side.
Yeah, you can see there's a little mark of your blood on the door. Just not a lot, but just yeah, you tear the skin. Um, but yeah, the door's open.
Uh, we better get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I'm
you make
gonna
haste.
quickly wipe the blood off of anything that he's touched. And yeah, maybe we could just slip out a side door. I doubt that librarian's gonna remember us. But all the same, we don't need to give her any fresh memories.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Everett, you reach to push the eject button on the VCR. And right before you touch it, the TV turns on to white static. No sound, just snow on the big tube screen. And you feel that something is watching you. Your hairs stand on end. And a silhouette forms in the static on the screen. And a hand pushes up against the glass. You actually see the contours of dark skin pushing up against the glass itself. Unless you want to turn a key to bump up your result, it's going to be the night move.
I think I will turn a key.
You turn a key. Which key are you going to turn? The key of the child or the first key of desolation?
First key of desolation, the sandstone arch.
You mark the sandstone arch. There is a click as this scene with Everett looking up at the screen and a silhouette pauses. And we then rewind. Skips to the moment you're reaching for the button. And you click eject. And the flickering 12 on the VCR stops and just has a little, blinking insert tape. There is no tape in there. But as you press eject, nothing happens. But I think how do I phrase this? Because you bumped it up, so that's a day move. Here's how you're going to be vulnerable here. Actually, I should have prefaced with that because it's the day move. But if you press eject on this thing, right, is that rather just less about that, more than just the general vibe going on here. The house is going to remember you and gain insight into you and will target you.
Horrifying. Thank you.
Yeah. So do you in this case choose to leave well enough alone and not touch anything in the house, or do you still push
No,
eject?
I wanted to hit that eject button.
Yeah. And then in that case, we see that it's the insert tape. There's nothing there. However, you're feeling chilled. Here's what I'll say. I'll just give you a condition for now. That's unrelated to chilled, but I'm gonna give you the condition, the empty VCR.
Ooh.
It's around this moment when you hear, I imagine, a curse and a clatter coming from the basement. Dahlia, who has dropped her lighter and is fumbling around the dark down
Oh, she
there.
screams.
Yeah, she screams. Oh, you hear a full scream coming from downstairs.
The timing of it's awful because it's right after I hit the eject button.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Flashes
Oh,
like
yeah.
insert tape,
Yeah.
and then the
Yeah,
scream,
yeah,
and then Everett screams.
yeah. Incredible. What do you do?
Imagine you match my pitch and I'm really high.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. He jolts up. Takes a second, breathing heavy. He's like glancing around, and then he realizes it's probably Dahlia. Kind of hurries on over to the basement door, looks down, sees pure darkness, goes, Dahlia, are you okay?
With the basement door open, there's a little bit of scant light that comes in, and I will say that Dahlia, the result of your roll, by the way, is simply that in the darkness of you fumbling around, you've injured yourself. I think you can just take like let's give you banged and bruised or something like that. Just like you've fumbled around, maybe you like got like a couple scuffs, bruised your shins. Yeah, exactly.
Bruised shins.
Yeah, but you did find your lighter by fumbling around.
Thank God. Oh my God, Everett. Thank God. Like
Think-
fumble my way to like the light coming up from the basement. I imagine as I round the corner though, I've been fumbling around down here. I've got like cobwebs stuck in my hair. Like crazy.
I think Everett just looks freaked out and is like, I think maybe we should go. I don't know. This place is weird.
Yeah. Did I pick up the photo album too? Did I
Yeah,
find that?
you found that. That was a formal clue that you got.
Okay, sick. Yeah, I come
Yeah.
up the stairs pulling cobwebs out of my hair. Couldn't agree more. Take a look at this. And I like throw the photo album into your hands and I go, actually, maybe let's leave first. And I grab your hand and tug you out the front door.
You
I mean, the
unlock
back
the
door.
yeah. Well, yeah, you could unlock the front door, but if you wanted, but yeah, whichever way you exit the house and you make your way out, and we'll have that wrap the day. Let's go to the dusk. We don't have any moves that resolve during the dusk phase as of yet, so we move on. Now, you as players, this is where you decide if you are going to watch an Odyssey tape tonight. Because this is our first night, we are going to watch an Odyssey tape. Importantly, I must outline a couple things about how this procedure works. In the current version of public access, this is not the latchkeys are watching the Odyssey tape. The latchkeys are going to watch these tapes. That's a given. That's part of the whole fucking reason they're here. They're going to do it on their own time. They'll probably watch them a bunch for answers. This version of the game, we as players are going to watch these tapes. We are going to witness them above the fiction. So the characters themselves don't need to be watching the tapes during the night. They certainly could be in the fiction, but if you were like, oh, we're doing other things, this tape is something that is playing in the weirdness here. So, to watch an Odyssey tape under the usual circumstances, it must be a unanimous decision that everyone agrees we're going to watch an Odyssey tape. And when you watch an Odyssey tape, the night is very brief. As players of the Between, this will feel very familiar because this is similar to how the Unseen works, but even more like limited and more quick. When you watch an Odyssey tape, you will describe just the one singular action that you want to do tonight that will be focused on the one singular thing you're going to do, or maybe it's just like a thing a scene you're having, whatever the case. But it will be very brief. The nights tend to be much faster in this game. On a normal night phase when you're not watching taped, it's like the day phase. We play until the scenes resolve and we move on to the next phase. You have one Odyssey tape available to be viewed. And that is the Happy Jack one. And here's another thing. When we watch an Odyssey tape, we must choose where it is being watched. It could be at 26 Rodenbecker, which is the default. It is a TV that you have available, but that is where it plays. Or if you have found a VCR in an active mystery, you can choose to have the Odyssey tape play there for a special rule to take effect. And you have found the VCR at 18 Escondido. So again, it's not that the characters are going to go squat at 18 Escondido and watch an Odyssey tape there. They could. But if more often than not, the Odyssey tape will be just playing there while we narrate the results. So, where is this Odyssey tape going to be played tonight?
I feel like it must be at 18 Mendoza, right?
18
Yeah,
Escondido? Yeah.
I figure
Escondido, yeah.
we found the VCR immediately. It would
We
be silly
have
not to
to.
use it.
Indeed.
We can't not do it.
We cannot do it. Exactly. All right, then. I will now go around and hear what each latchkey, what one thing each of you will be doing during the evening. Dahlia, what about you?
Just a random thing we're doing this
It could be anything. It could be something relevant. I mean, here's the thing, right? If you in the fiction, you could also say that you guys are watching this Odyssey tape at 26 Rodenbecker, but for the purposes of this, we are getting to experience it as players through the TV at 18 Escondido. So like, you've been waiting fucking weeks to find one of these Odyssey tapes. It does stand to reason you could be watching them. Or maybe you just want to go out for a smoke, or maybe you're on the phone with someone back home. I don't know. Whatever you want to do during the evening. Yeah.
I want to watch the tape.
Mhm.
That means we have to go back to the creepy house. I guess we have to go back to the creepy house.
You could be watching the tape in 26 Rodenbecker, just as a reminder, if you don't think it makes sense for you to be watching the tape in character at 18. But yeah, I'll go ahead.
I think that for the premise of our characters, I think we would watch it at like our place together because we were
Mhm.
all
Movie
as a
night.
group excited for this. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think for as far as we do go at some point and play it at the
Yeah.
Esposito.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, in that case, I will be watching it at 26, and I have made a bowl of popcorn that I've mixed a bunch of.
You're making snacks. Got it.
into.
Making
Got it.
snacks.
Is Everett also joining for the ride tonight?
Yes. I think he makes
Okay.
a snack run beforehand. He goes down to like a convenience store,
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
picks up candies.
Convenience store. Got it. What about Max?
Beer run.
Maybe, joining
Join Everett.
Everett. What about Sebastian? In between the events as we see them tonight, what are we going to focus on for him?
I think he's going to start a kind of murder board for this mystery that we've got. But he doesn't have corkboard and he doesn't want to nail anything to the walls of a house he doesn't own. So he's going to use refrigerator magnets on the fridge.
We have
Incredible.
a mystery fridge.
Oh my God, the mystery fridge. Holy shit. All right.
I
Sebastian,
imagine
is
you're
this
putting
why you
that
wanted your
together
own
while I
fridge?
mix a horrific amount of candy into a popcorn bowl with popcorn.
And I'm just
Mhm.
putting up the pictures of roadkill on this thing.
All right. Well, then we have our action set. I'm going to assign prompts for tonight's Odyssey tape. Happy Jack 06 duress signal, pure white pretext. The first is a paint the scene prompt for everyone. The second prompt I'm going to give to Eric. The third prompt I'm going to give to Malachi. And the last prompt I'm going to give to Tamara. Let's take a short break here while you look at your tape prompts, and we'll go through the night. The night phase begins. A tape is inserted in the TV room of 18 Escondido. This tape is an episode of Happy Jack the Lumberjack and Friends, a children's TV show that aired on TV Odyssey. The episode opens on a scene where Happy Jack, a crude wooden puppet wearing a flannel shirt and knit cap, a plastic axe taped to his hand, is comforting his friend Lucy, who is portrayed by a crying 12-year-old girl. Paint the scene, everyone. The episode is supposed to be taking place in the forest where Happy Jack works, but the set appears to be someone's poorly decorated basement. What do you see in the background that would be out of place in a real-world forest?
Cardboard shaped trees that are poorly colored, as if they were done by a child.
Armchair, the corner of an armchair peeking out from behind the cardboard cutouts.
There's a boom mic drifting down out of the top of the frame.
Through the forest of cardboard trees, you can see a bit of the pipework of the basement and the ceiling, dripping a liquid that doesn't look like water.
Who's driving to the convenience store? Max or Everett?
Muted. You're muted.
I was about to say, your car's way nicer than mine, but mine's got character.
Well, I drove already today, so wouldn't be opposed to riding passenger.
Hop on in.
You're driving through the dark streets of Deep Lake on your way to do a beer and further snacks run. Tell me, each of you, as the headlights cut through, as you drive street to street, what thoughts wander through your head of Deep Lake at night?
How dead the town is. That even in going through the main streets, there's scarce but like one or two people walking the streets.
Everett remembers how, when he was a kid, he used to lay awake at night and listen to the coyotes howling. Thinks he can hear one now, just behind the dim of heavy metal playing.
In the kitchen of 26 Rodenbecker, Sebastian, tell us a little bit about your fridge, your murder fridge, how you're laying this out, what we see you doing here.
Okay, so as luck would have it, when we got here, there were already some magnets on the refrigerator. One is an old, faded souvenir thing from some tourist trap like Mount Rushmore or some shit, and a bunch of multicolored letters, like someone was teaching their kid the alphabet. And with these, he puts up the various pictures of dead animals, and having a bit of sense of humor about it, he arranges the letters. He uses the letters to spell out red rum as he puts them up there. As for the article that he found in the library on the microfiche. He never got a chance to print it out before the power went out. So he's got to just write it on a sticky note and put it right up there next to it.
And Dahlia, what snacks are you preparing? What are you making up?
Popped a big bowl of popcorn, and then she's got sixlets and malt balls, and she's dumping both into the popcorn, mixing it all together.
We go back to the tape. Eric, Happy Jack explains that Lucy is sad because her parents abandoned her in the forest. What did Lucy do to make her parents stop loving her?
Happy Jack talks. It's clearly an adult man doing a sort of falsetto voice. He goes, "Oh, poor Lucy. She's been so ungrateful to her parents. They cook all these lovely meals, but does she say thank you? She doesn't. And ungrateful kids don't get loved by their parents, do they?" We see the crying Lucy, sobbing, wiping tears, shaking her head. And he goes, "That's all right, Lucy. I've got a good idea."
Bing bong, as Everett and Max enter the Big Sun convenience store. You parked up outside. There's a big, mural on one wall outside of a cartoon sun in a white cowboy hat smiling over a painted depiction of Deep Lake. But inside the fluorescence of Big Sun are bright, humming overhead. There's some sallow-skinned, bleary-eyed teenager behind the counter here late at night. As you make your way down the aisles, Max, you go to get some beer, and Everett getting some snacks. Everett, as you go down the aisle, what snacks are you getting? What are you sort of grabbing off of the shelves of the convenience store?
Grabs a bag of like mini Reese's cups, which are his favorite snack. He like tiptoes to look over the shelves to like try and see Max. He's like, "Max, what snacks do you like? What's your favorite candy?"
Sour stuff. Anything like sour gummy worms, Sour Patch Kids, things like that.
Everett looks through, grabs a little bag of Warheads.
What about you? Beer, wine? I think they got some in the corner.
Oh, I'll drink whatever.
I'm gonna grab some of that Deep Lake Sweetwater, a local brew.
As you go to open, the little fridge and pull out some beer, you turn and there's a cop, and he is dressed in the khakis of the county a police department, but he is a square-jawed, handsome man. The shirt of his uniform is quite strategically tight in the chest, and he smells like really good. He smells like Old Spice and Big Red Gum, and he's got like sheriff's badge. And as you turn, he just sort of like puts out a hand and goes, "Ho there," and gives like a little like look and says, "Gonna have to see your ID."
Isn't that what the clerk up front's for? You really need to be checking me right here, officer?
He snickers and says, "Hey, I'm just giving you guff."
All right, man. Grab my
Bill Hanscom, sheriff. He holds out his hand that is open, that is not you're not holding beer with.
beer. Yeah. Shake his hand. Max, good to meet you.
Ah, you moved in to what was it, Rodenbecker? Yeah.
Small town.
Ah, indeed it is. Indeed it is. I I grew up in La Fresca, but the charm of Deep Lake has got me here. I
Quiet.
mean, probably would have moved here even if I wasn't sheriff.
Really?
Yeah, you know, Town's got its charm.
Yeah.
Anyway, didn't mean to give you a bother there. Just saw you guys pull up. Figured I'd introduce myself.
Oh, yeah. Good to meet you, man. If we run across anything, we'll definitely like call on the local sheriff.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Hey, tell you what, beer's on me. And he pulls out his wallet, pulls out,
Oh,
some money.
oh shit, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Shake his hand.
Anyway, I'm off to make a late night run. You know what they say about cops. We like donuts, and that is true.
Hell yeah, man. Enjoy it.
My QB days are behind me, but he's like pats his belly, ain't stopping me.
Quarterback, you over there at the college?
Ah, no, I got an injury. Uh, Stopped playing after high school. Anyway, I'm sure we'll be seeing each other soon.
Later, Sheriff.
He turns and heads out.
Oh, fucking cop paying for our drinks. Trying to schmoove us up.
Make a friend.
Yeah.
Uh, Dahlia, um, in the living room of 26 Rodenbecker, you've got your snacks you've been working on. You got the big bowl of popcorn, and
Too
you're
many
waiting
ring
for
pops to her hands.
what was that?
I said, and she's added too many ring pops to her hands.
Too many ring pops. You get a sensation, a familiar sensation, but also different. You have hunches, omens, assumptions, foresight, as you've told us. What is the sensation you feel that tells you watching these tapes might be a bad idea? And why do you ignore it?
She always feels like whenever it's not a full vision, and even when it is, it always starts as like a buzzing kind of in the back of her skull that seems to like grow louder and like over the front of her face. And when she sees like a full but like this one just stops. It's not like it's just like a bad feeling, like a tink, the buzzing in the back of her skull. She sort of like pauses and shakes it off. We've This is the whole reason we came here. I'm not going to watch the tapes.
Sebastian, as you have your magnets laid out, what is running through your head as you peruse, parse this? What are you hoping to gain here?
I'm trying to gain some kind of insight into what these people were, and with these few clues, not much to go on. Best I can guess is that one of the kids at that house was gonna be a serial killer one day, in which case, disappearance is not the worst outcome. But then there are these break ins, carefully covered up. No
How does
connections there
this,
yet.
yeah, how does this make you feel just dead ending so early?
Bit irritated.
Take the condition irritated, and we go back to the tape. Malachi, Happy Jack suggests Lucy should take revenge on her parents when she finally gets home. He demonstrates the manner of revenge on another puppet character, Sylvester the Squirrel. What does Happy Jack do to Sylvester?
He says to Lucy, "Now here's what you do." Raises the axe and chops him right in half, completely down the middle. We get a nice shot of the thing splitting in half, and uh, yeah, Happy Jack just pulls a ton of red yarn out of this dead squirrel.
Max and Everett, as you're driving, back from the house. Got your snacks, you got your beer. What is playing in the radio right now? Oh, you're muted.
Uh, I think since I know that Everett likes the Smiths, I think I've cranked up one of those songs for him. I do think that I think Calypso still has a cassette player in it too, though. So I've got a Smiths cassette in here and I pop it in.
Your hands sting a bit on the wheel, of course, but yeah, nothing too bad. As you're driving back, headlights cutting through the dead of town, something jumps in front of your car. It's the night move to evade. What are you afraid of happening here?
I'm afraid I'm gonna. What's around on the street? Are there houses? Or is there? I'm afraid I'm gonna crash into a light pole.
Yeah, I think that I
Honestly,
think yeah. I think it's worse than that. Uh, you're not wearing your seatbelt and you'll go through the windshield.
seatbelts are for dorks.
It's
The
the
early
night.
2000s, I don't even know if it's a law yet.
It's
Mhm.
not.
It's going to be the night move with, I think, vitality. Normally I'd say composure for a steady hand, but vitality is for dexterity. I think
Mhm.
this is a suddenly very like quick reaction thing. But you're going to have disadvantage from torn hands because again, stinging on the wheel.
All right.
Unless, of course, if you choose to back down from the roll, that just simply means you are going to
Is it
uh,
bigger than? Is it like a as big as a human?
it's
Can I tell
it's like
that?
it's like human or bigger, yeah.
Fuck yeah! No, I
Um,
gotta dodge it.
yeah, I was gonna say what backing down looks like is simply that you're going to dodge it, but you crash your car, and you'll go ahead and uh, lose access to a Calypso until it's repaired.
I'd actually like to check off Calypso.
Okay, I mean, how specifically does Calypso help in this circumstance?
I think I just know my car so well. I've pulled tight corners like uh I think that Max is definitely a fast driver and a little bit reckless.
Mhm.
I think he's done things like this before to where he's had to swerve around other vehicles quite quickly.
Indeed. Okay, go ahead and roll flat.
A 6 and a 1 plus 2. So that is a 9.
Okay, 9. We'll come back to the scene. Dahlia, there is uh do you have a no, I'm gonna revise that. Actually, I'm gonna say with Sebastian first. Sebastian, while you're now doing other things, you hear the fridge begin to like ka-dunk, 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 like rattle. You've heard this thing make its like ice making sound before. It's very similar to that, but at what point does that ice making sound become not the ice making sound?
I think the ice making sound escalates to the point that it sounds like something's grinding up against something else. And yeah, it's just a loud whine, like the machine's trying to do something and it's just there's a wrench in its gears. And I think at some point it would start to warm up in there.
It sounds like when a VCR grinds the tape in the fridge. You hear it. You see the fridge shaking. What do you do?
What you usually do when the TV is on the blink, I'm gonna smack it on the side. See what that does.
It's the night move. What are you afraid of happening here?
Oh my I have a smart ass answer, but I'm afraid that this thing is going to completely break down and all our perishables are going to perish.
It's worse than that. Because inexplicably, if you've seen the film Ghostbusters, there's something in that
Yeah.
fridge, and something's gonna happen to Sebastian instead. It is going to be the night move with sensitivity. If you choose to back down and not thwack the fridge, you can do so. You'll leave the kitchen. You'll simply take the condition, the fridge.
Uh, Screw it. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna smack the fridge.
Okay. You're irritated, but I actually don't think that would hinder you. So go
If
ahead
anything, it would
and
give me advantage.
right. You say, yeah, we're gonna roll flat, but yeah, go ahead and roll.
Okay. Flat roll. 8.
8. Okay. Let's go back to the last prompt on the Odyssey tape. Tamara. The episode ends and the screen fades to black, but audio can still be heard. Lucy whispers something to anyone who might be watching. What does she say?
Little Lucy took an axe and gave her father 40 whacks, and when she saw what she had done, she gave her mother 41.
Max, you swerve and evade whatever's in the road. The car goes off up onto the curb. You have to swerve again to avoid a street light. It does nick the side of the car. You feel the scrape, but it's nothing significant. Um, you're able to get the vehicle under control. Um, that said, when the vehicle went up on the curb and you were twisted, as you'll find out later, it definitely fucked up one of the axles here. The steering is off on your car. Um, and so you can make a modification to the item itself that makes reference to this, but that's something you might want to fix because it might cause problems for you in the future, unless of course you turn a key.
I'll go ahead and turn a key.
Oh, what key are you gonna mark?
I'm gonna go ahead and do the sandstone arch also.
First key of desolation. Okay. Um, let's go ahead and get the scene between Max and Everett here after evading whatever flash in front of the road.
I think as I kind of pull a sharp turn around it, and just go.
I think Everett was in the middle of saying something. He was like, "Oh, playing to the music taste of your passenger. What a judge!" Screams as the car gets yanked around, just holding on for dear life in the car. He has his seatbelt on, which after their drive over, he, you know, figured out. What the fuck, Max? What was that? He like pokes his head out to try and look behind to
I
see.
don't know
if
what
he
the
can see
fuck that was, but I almost hit it. Whew. All right. Well, oh yeah. Beers are fine. All right. Is snacks still good?
Yep. I guess
You good?
I'm not.
Oh,
What? I
sorry.
think you gave me whiplash. Good lord.
Well, you never had fun driving before?
Not like that.
You probably follow the speed limit, don't you?
Of course I follow the speed limit.
Just drive a little faster to get back home.
White knuckle grip on the little handle.
Dahlia, when you go to the bathroom at some point during the night here, you've been eating and drinking, some snacks and beverages, whatever has been out here. Uh, the lights flicker in the bathroom for a brief moment. It's been known to do that here and there. When you look in the mirror, What are you afraid you might see?
Mm, whatever happened, like whatever thing is lurking in the Mendoza house. I feel like we felt it so much today.
For you, I will say roll the day move with sensitivity. What are you? Oh, actually, you already answered the question. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I preempted it.
Wow. Boxcars.
Boxcars.
So,
Okay. You will get an advantage, which will come in the form of a clue
yay!
for the house on Escondido Street. You look in the mirror. Actually, just go ahead and narrate like how this, rather, because you're gonna see nothing, right? So just like narrate how this like you steal your resolve or whatever, and just like nothing happens, and I'll let you narrate whatever. This is gonna be your final prompt here.
As she's like washing her hands in the bathroom and she looks up and it's one of those, those old bathroom mirrors that like fold on both sides.
Hmm.
She like opens one side of it to get something out of the cabinet, Tylenol for her head, because the buzzing hasn't really gone away and it's starting to creep up over her head. And as she opens the mirror, they begin, and like the reflection of the other one hits back, she begins to almost like fall toward like into the reflections before she sort of grips the mirror and slams it shut again and sort of like sternly looks at herself. Here, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she sort of like taps her fingers together as she counts and takes a couple deep breaths before like looking back up in the mirror and then like straightening up and leaving the bathroom.
Before you leave the bathroom, you'll find something after that sensation of like almost like falling into a mirror for a moment, but then not, grounding yourself, shaking that off. You feel a crinkle in your hand and you look down as you open your palm and a bunch of Smarties wrappers falls out of it, fluttering down to the ground. Now, you can't say with any certainty, but you were thinking about the house, and now suddenly this is here. You're pretty sure you didn't eat any Smarties.
Yeah, I
That's
was
the
reaching
clue.
for Tylenol.
Hmm.
Hmm. So empty Smarties wrappers.
That appeared in your
Right.
hand when thinking about the Mendozas and the house. Sebastian, you rolled a 7 to 9, yeah?
Yes.
When you open the fridge, you thunk it, I should say, and it stops rattling, it stops grinding. It feels a little warm to the touch. And when you open it, the light bulb hits on. There's nothing amiss whatsoever. Very strange. Shrug. And then you're hit by the smell. Not the smell of rotting food, thank God, not the smell of something, perishable gone bad, to smoke. And you think, oh God, is the is this from the fridge? No, it's not like the smoke of an electrical fire of some appliance that's grinded itself and is now broken. It's a waft of cigarette smoke that just pours out of the fridge in the sort of like jaundiced yellow glow of the bulb. It hits you, and it's almost like thick enough you can feel like the nicotine making your eyes water.
Dahlia, did you put out a cigarette in the fridge?
No, I don't smoke inside. That's what I have the ring pops for.
I'm gonna give you the condition smells like smoke. I'll add that to your sheet as well. And with that, we end the night phase. Let's go to the dusk or the dawn. But before we move on to the dawn, I must inform you that through watching your first Odyssey tape, you have unlocked layer 1 of the campaign, the old religion. There is a TV somewhere. It's an old CRT, boxy and heavy, on one of those gray TV carts like the teacher used to roll into the classroom on movie day. Except this is no classroom, and we're not here to watch Charlotte's Web for the third time. It's a TV in the desert, the blasted landscape where old gods made war on each other. It blinks to life. On the screen is a man so big he fills the flickering frame. He's wearing a creamy yellow suit, a cowboy hat, and a bolo tie shaped like the sun. He's looming over a table that is comically small in front of his vastness. Tarot cards are spread across it. He looks at the camera and speaks. It might surprise you to learn that I am an enthusiast of the tarot. The first card in the major arcana is the Fool. It depicts a young man, blind to the realities of the world, stepping off a precipice. The Fool is said to augur a new beginning in life, a new journey, and, importantly, on the need to trust the hidden forces of the universe to guide you on your way. I do wonder what will happen to these new fools, these beautiful fools who have traveled all the way back to the enchanted land of their youth in search of the truth. What will happen now that they have stepped off the precipice? Will the universe set them down gently? Or will they simply plummet into oblivion? The TV turns off, leaving a hot white dot in the center of the screen. Let's go to stars and wishes, everybody.
We're on the Truman Show.
We get our dawn questions first.
Yeah, we'll do dawn questions here. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. I totally missed that. Yes, dawn questions first. And also, oh my gosh, I actually forgot another thing. Okay, we have to do two things real quick. Because we are going to be, let me rephrase this, central to the campaign of public access is the question of what happened to TV Odyssey. That's what you're here for. We are going to be collecting clues, unique clues for that very question. They're called Odyssey clues. And the question of what happened to TV Odyssey, its complexity 6, can only be answered with unique Odyssey clues. When that question is answered, the latch keys will immediately trigger the end game. And one of the ways you gain Odyssey clues is each time you watch an Odyssey tape. After the tape is played, you all will collectively define an Odyssey clue based on something witnessed in the tape. So if anyone has ideas for that now, we can do that, or I'll let you guys stew on that for a moment. Because this pairs well with the fact that you watched it choosing the VCR at 18 Escondido, uh, you triggered the special rule for playing an Odyssey tape there, which is that you can also define a clue inspired by the tape, but it's a regular clue for any active mystery of something that is played on the tape, seen on the background. Something seen on the tape is a clue for an active mystery, but it is all. But there's also an Odyssey clue gained from this as well. So you're really coming up with two. So in that case, if folks are, because we're a little short on time, I want you guys to stew on that of what the Odyssey clue might be of something significant from the tape. It must generally be based on like the narration that everyone gave there. But the clue that comes of this special rule you can retroactively decide anything, right? Like anything at all you can be like, oh, this is in the background or whatever. It's just that the Odyssey clue itself should be firmly based on something that was narrated, but it can be like lightly modified maybe. Um, well, yeah, I think we should sit on that just so we can all think on it for the time. Also, because again, running out of time here. Let's do Dawn questions real fast, and then we'll do stars and wishes. Did the latchkeys resolve mystery? No, they did not. Two of our latchkeys have marked the Sanson Arch, which means they've unlocked one of their Dawn questions, which is, did you receive a signal from the other side? Now, as players from between, you might recognize this is how Echoes in the Night work in public access. Uniquely, whereas in the between, Echoes in the Night are only between hunter scenes and the unseen, or vice versa, those thematic parallels. It's the same thing, but with a big tweak. There is no phase limit necessarily on signals from the other side. It's, did you narrate something? If you narrated something in the tape that parallels reality, or you later narrate something in reality that parallels something seen in a tape, that counts as a signal from the other side. The sort of bleeding of reality's lines between one another. So they don't have to happen in the same night phase. You could decide, oh, I'm going to narrate, if like 2 sessions from now, Eric describes finding like a Happy Jack the Lumberjack lunchbox somewhere in the background of the scene, that counts as a signal from the other side. So I don't think anyone did that because nothing has affected reality thus far. Did Everett share a good memory from your childhood?
I did. I talked about climbing a fence,
Okay, you can mark that.
smoking oregano.
Did you go out of your way to reconnect with Deep Lake?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Dahlia, did you share a good memory from your childhood? No.
No.
Were you vulnerable to someone? I don't think so.
No.
Max, did you cut loose for once?
Oh yeah. And that driving, going fast.
Does that count as cutting loose? It seems like you kind of had the driving fast kind
Okay.
of vibe, I'd say. I don't know.
Okay.
You can sell
So
me
if,
on it, but I don't
no,
know. I'm not sure. Yeah.
I'm about to say if not that, then I guess I might have I did reconnect with Deep Lake at least a little bit, or at least like connected with the sheriff.
Yeah, you did like kind of like stop to actually converse with him where you could have just brushed him off. I like that. You can mark that one. Did Sebastian go out of his way to reconnect with Deep Lake?
I mean, it wasn't his first time going to the public library there, but
I don't feel
I
like we
didn't
went
really
out of
feel a
your
deep
way. Yeah.
connection to it.
Yeah. Did you cut loose for once? I don't think so.
Not really.
Not really. That's okay. So that is our Dawn questions, everyone. I know we're running over time, but I think we got time for stars and wishes if everyone wants to go.
I can. Sorry, Eric had to let the dog out right quick.
Sorry, I have had wireless headset, so I still hear. Since it waited for me to come back, I'll just go first. Tamara, I for your beginning flashback, landed my mom in the principal's office too. I thought was really funny. Then I also had a star for the Little Lucy rhyme at the end. So creepy. Really didn't expect it. You expect Lucy to be like, help me or whatever, but Generally incredible. Kyle with Metalhead 69 made me chuckle. I also like the whole woo after driving recklessly. Malachi, you have proved yourself worthy. Would you like to join me? Whenever the the librarian was just not giving you anything, it killed me.
I think that
so
actually caused my brain to like stop. I was like, huh? It fully slammed my brakes.
I can never resist the Monty Python reference.
then I also thought it was really fun setting up like a cork board on our murder fridge. And then putting red rum on it was really fun. I love that. Alex, uh, the house was so spooky. Why was it so spooky? Why would you do that? Um, I got like generally unsettled during that whole investigation bit. I also thought locking them in the newspaper room was wild, a fun complication, and then narrating the marking, turning a key as like the rewinding of the tape, very fun. Also, just a general star. I love everybody's characters and everybody played them very well. I thought it was so fun. Wishes, excited to get more into it. Excited to see what our second mystery will be and what kind of clues we come up with. Yeah, pass it off.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go. I think which is wonderful first session, really great characters. We know we've been very excited to start public access now that our run of the Between is done. And I'm, this was really great. I'm also like, dang, I can feel myself stretching back into public access because it's been a long time since I've actually gotten to run public access, and so it's both a return to home for me, but also like getting back into the comfort of it, and also like readapting to like the play procedures unique to public access. But really, really wonderful scenes, everyone. Great first tape. Really, really fucked up having the fucking rhyme there at the end, Tamara. Fucking spooky. That was creepy. Yep. Very, very, very spooky. Um, I I also love Murder Fridge. That was great. I really hope to see more magnet fridge murder things. Um, love Everett screaming at the same tone and pitches as Dahlia. That got a chuckle out of me. Same with everyone's like introductory scenes, by the way, just kind of getting the immediate vibe and uh Dahlia saying like, yeah, my mother named me after the murder. That is crazy. I love, interestingly enough, like, Max being like the buff, like industrial goth guy. I love his like kind of like almost immediately just like helpful like disposition towards the latchkeys of like, yeah, I'm gonna accompany Sebastian and then I'm gonna, lift the door off, helping you do research and all that. And with Sebastian, I mean, yeah, truly love whatever this guy's energy is, whatever this sleep deprived, socially awkward man is doing when it comes to interacting with people awkwardly. It has that like this man was like it's giving this man was like one diverging life path away from wearing a trilby. It's like it's part of what he feels like at times. And thank God he didn't go that way. Thank God we got whatever this is. But he definitely has that, like, he could have been one of those types. And I'm glad that he isn't. But that social awkwardness is really fun to play around with. But yeah, no, just really fun first session, everyone. I'm stoked to jump into a wildly different vibe of campaign with you guys. Wish wise, yeah, I'm very much looking to just in general looking forward to just letting the game unfold and letting you guys do your thing because again having played a full campaign with you guys, the thing I love most is your prompt narrations and your flashbacks and just whatever creative shit you throw in at any given moment. You guys really do leave like a significant mark on these campaigns that I love to just be an audience member to, so I'm just looking forward to your ideas and being along for the ride.
Yeah, I'll go next. Shout outs to Alex. Thank you again for running this. This has been uh a great first session. Your just the like the way you were setting up the atmosphere of every single scene, I just loved it. I think that's the thing I feel about this one a lot more. It's modernized, and I feel like I can connect with it a lot more. And you're making that nostalgia really hit. So, uh, love what you're doing with that. The character voices that you did for the still didn't figure out her name, but the worker at the municipal library, Jane Baxter, and the sheriff, all very interesting characters. So I'm excited to meet more. Also, all the things you did with the house on Escondido, it was spooky, and I'm excited to get my character into some spooky scenes too. I can't wait to see how he reacts. And then Sebastian, I like your character an awful lot. I think he is. I want to almost put him into like a very much a movie, like a secret movie buff, because he keeps quoting like these like older movies, and I think that uh yeah, your murder board was great. Uh, Also cracking up at how you responded to the worker. Um, Dahlia, you just are. I like your character a lot because she's just she's rather free spirited and like just a okay with like there being awful things to a degree. You're like, yeah, actually, this little girl broke her arm. And I knew it was gonna happen. So I love that little like character about trait about you is you just like you sometimes you know bad things are gonna happen and you're okay with it. Um, and for Everett, just the fact that you kept saying, I love to use my father's like money, and yes, I am rich, but at the same time, you're playing the character very down to earth. So I'm excited to see how you differ from your family and like how like I don't know how you got into all this stuff. So I'm excited to see that about your character. But wishes just want to play with you guys more. Honestly, excited to see where all of our characters go and see what the frick happened at this Escondido Street. Very spooky.
Yeah, many of mine have been said, so I will keep it brief. But Malachi, I fear the murder fridge was just a huge hit. Also obsessed. It was really good. Also, you really cracked me up when you were like, "Did you put a cigarette out in the fridge?" Like, why would anyone do? It just really tickled me. I don't know. Um, Eric, I love a rich character. Star for, I love a dilettante. There's nothing I love more than using money as a stat. 5 stars. I love him. Uh, Kyle, oh my God, you said something earlier. What was it? Somebody else just commented on it. I'm gonna come back to it. Alex, I really thought I was like, okay, all these like normal sounding people because we're not like in the 1800s in England. I was like, and then at the very end, the the voice for the guy on the tape, I was like, of course, there's another um, excellent thing. Oh, Kyle, I remember. Because the other voice was the cops. I really like how Max was like, fuck the cops. And then he was polite for a second, and then the cops walked away, and he was like, fuck the cops and the how dare you buy me free beer to try to schmooze me up. It was very on brand for the punk of it all. I appreciated. And yeah, wishes. I'm just excited to learn about our characters more and to interact with everybody more. And I'm excited to take another move. I love to flesh out characters. It's like my favorite part. So I'm stoked for that. And I hope that Dahlia gets more visions because I think it's fun and spooky and creepy. That's it.
And last but not least, collective star for everyone just introducing their characters at the beginning. I especially liked how we came up with the usernames. They were very, very on point. And yeah, it just felt fun. It felt like we were getting to know our own characters at the same time that we were introducing them, and then it just became a bit easier as we went on. So that was a great vibe there. Uh, Alex, excellent pacing of going back and forth between scenes, leaving us on cliffhangers each time we went back and forth. Also, the NPCs that you portrayed, the librarian, was actually really unsettling, but not the kind that makes you want to run away. It's more the kind that just makes you go, "What the heck And yeah, that was very much, I feel like, the kind of vibe that this game wants to evoke, where everything's just a little bit off. And yeah, she was great. Um, Tamara, you had a quote, "Wouldn't that be poetic?" Dahlia getting murdered. Also, your use of the lighter and cigarettes, actual props to go with your character, is a nice touch. Let me see. Kyle, forcing the door was a very where's the beef kind of thing to do. So I enjoyed that. Um, Also, Alex, you did the rewind sound effect when you retconned what happened to Everett in there. Tamara, the Lizzie Borden jump rope rhyme. I absolutely love that. Uh, Everett screaming at the same pitch as Dahlia. That was a good one, Eric. And finally, yeah, the man at the end with the tarot. Excellent voice. And so that was my stars. Wishes. I'm really looking forward to learning more about our characters and seeing how they get their own group dynamic going. And yeah, I look forward to more nostalgic references to stuff.
Thought of two other quick things. Tamara, I loved Dahlia having all the ring pops. Really funny. And the candy bowl. The candy and the popcorn. And I just realized that one of Dahlia's Take Me Backs is a game of Truth or Dare. And that means we have to play Truth or Dare for a nostalgia move at some point. So I wish to see that come to fruition. That's
Oh,
all.
I love that. That's so fun.
Any other stars or wishes? And then I will conclude our recording.